Good evening. It's 5:30 p.m. Welcome to the masterclass. Well, it seems we have a bright evening here. Good to see all of you. We will carry on in trying to find the elusive happiness. Thank you, Minakshi. Thank you, Gurdeep. Thank you, Shalini. Thank you for all of you who are following in. Thank you, Manisha. Before I miss you, we will move on. I want to introduce you to two, three things before we start. I have the book with me, but before we go to the book, I think what we need to do is a little recap of the last session and share the website. Some of us have a question as to session change. Thank you, Vasundhara. It made me prompt to share this as to what we do and what is our ultimate objective. So I've taken you to the About Us tab at schooleducation.com. This is the personal and social development map. There are 10 attributes here: identity, spiritual aesthetics, decision making, health, intellectual growth. These are very personal. These are known as personal attributes. Communication, relationship, employment, citizenship, environment, these are social attributes. So every individual in our organization, whether the person loves service, skill, sport, or study, has a chance for their personal and social development at the Good School Alliance and the Learning Forward India Foundation. So we don't just do the masterclass. We have the Sunday My Good School. We have the Teachers Academy. We've just done it today. You will see a lovely session by Wisdom Mandali, which is a Project Fuel. Project Fuel is collecting ecological wisdom, and they want to collect 1 million stories. That's their goal. So they are partnering with us. We are taking out the stories. You're free to participate. It's there in the Teachers Academy. I will show it to you. Masterclass, we are right here. Brewing Knowledge Fridays was yesterday, where Vasundhara thought I had deserted you people and changed the day of the session. No, no, that can't change. Masterclass has always been Saturday, 5:30 p.m. for the last. The first one happened on, I think, 18th of December 23 at Varanasi. Aditya sir and me started it. So we started reading a book. The book was Shomi Das's book. Let me see where that book is. I can't find it here. I think I gifted away to someone. Yeah, we read Shomi Das's book, and that's how we started the master class. After that, we got reading. We did productive failure, post productive failure. We thought, let's find happiness. We have the GSA squad meeting on Mondays. Monday means 5:30 p.m. If you want to find out what we are doing, if you want to contribute, if you want to volunteer, that's Monday evening. We have two retreats in April and October. We have other programs like internship, fellowship, book cafe. We have partner programs like Substack, YouTube, Earnestly and Diversity, Dreamtime Learning, and more. We have special projects, 5 which we consider as our joy of giving. And yes, we help schools deliver better. When you look at partner programs, they've got little organized. We've recently had NSSC join us, which is National School Safety Council, Dreamtime Learning, Productive Failure, Jabas, Kishori. These are projects in action. So you can refer to our partners, get them to work with you and work with them. Our programs I just mentioned are listed separately now. So we have made our programs available in one drop down and partners in the other. We recently published an impact study because we head for the Good Schools Governing Council meeting on Monday and Tuesday. So it is an impact study which has come. Please refer to it. The membership page has also got a little more exciting with a little message on the foundation day by Amrita Burman, update on governing council and everything. And what we do on Monday is mentioned here also. That's it. And this is the homepage. Jugjeev sir joyfully on a Sunday school session. At the Good School Alliance, we believe that all our schools should be doing service, skills, sport, and study. That's the common belief we share. Our focus at GSA is the 3 Rs, because obviously we can't do sport and we can't do so much of skill development. Together, we promote trust and lifelong learning, which is explained by this map. This is where we are, the masterclass. If you want to find out more about our special projects, you can do that. We have created a special projects page in association with the Doon School Old Bird Society. This is a part of the Impact Project. A study on the Impact Project is now live. You can have a look at it. These are the special projects we work with. If you feel you are a special project, you can apply for a special project. That's all I have from here. Now let's head to the Teachers Academy. Reflection from the masterclass 10th of January. This is where we are. Shalini, over to you. You want to read this again or you want to just let this be? This is the previous class.
As you say, sir.
Go ahead and read. We'll be happy to catch up.
Okay. So this is the reflection. We had a session on 10th of January. So the first thing was true self-worth and happiness come from feeling beneficial to the community, from knowing that our existence contributes to others. When we act with the intention to contribute, we naturally feel happier. So it is joy of giving. It goes with our Good School Alliance also, the joy of giving. However, this contribution should be free from the desire for recognition or praise, because expecting acknowledgement only traps us in dependency on others' approval. The second takeaway was often when people, especially the children, cannot gain attention through healthy means, they resort to inappropriate or disruptive behavior. Many children misbehave not because they are bad, but because they want to be seen and heard. Every child needs to be listened to so they don't grow up feeling inferior. So, this is quite beneficial for the teachers. So, we should aim at inclusive learning and teaching. Third was adults to sometimes engage in exaggerated behaviors to assert superiority or to stand out. In such environments, what is initially abnormal gradually becomes normalized. The Adlerian view reminds us that freedom, contribution, and belonging in community are essential foundations of a healthy sense of self. This
Thank
was
you.
from the last session.
Yeah, thank you. Manisha, please favor us and be the gatekeeper. I don't want people waiting outside. We have to admit people to this session and have them identified. The name should be on the screen so we can talk to them. And masterclass is limited edition. We only have 17, 18 people we've signed up and we want to keep it exclusive for them. We don't want gate crashers. Manisha, can you hear me?
Yes, I've done it.
Yeah, please admit whomsoever you have to. Don't have anyone waiting. Thank you, Shalini, for this update. As we have the Teachers Academy on, I just flip to this session happened at 3 p.m. today. Have a look at it when you have time. It's on ecological wisdom. The video is already published. So we are slowly catching up thanks to AI. We're able to cut down our downtime. And we are wanting to show you that what productive use you can do for AI. Our work is absolutely authentic and original when you play the video, but AI has helped us capture the takeaways in minutes. That's how we use AI. So AI is really my assistant who makes notes for us, which adds value. They help us improve the quality of the video, which again adds value. All our content is Creative Commons open source. Enjoy the ecological wisdom. And the beautiful thing in this video is when you play it, the show notes are in Hindi. That's the beauty. So that's why customized learning programs. That's the Teachers Academy tagline, which happens at 3 p.m. every Saturday. The Teachers Academy is open to a whole faculty study group. We have no scope for individuals to join. A school has to pay 10,000 rupee donation for the year and join the Teachers Academy program. Send as many teachers as you want. So currently we are serving 6 schools. I think we are in capacity. We could take one or two more. We don't want to crowd it because then we are not fair to our cohort. Our cohorts normally 25, 30 is what we like. We made exceptions to 40, 45, but never more than that. So that's it. So we have told you about the Teachers Academy. We have told you about the special projects. We have told you about what we do. We have spent 10 minutes. We have done a reflection. And last thing before we go, we just pop you.
Okay.
to the YouTube channel.
So I think it's
To
3 p.m.
this session,
and it would be
I just wanted to show you the new layout and new flow of the YouTube channel. You will find it much improved. The videos, the shots, the live, the podcast, the playlists, the posts, all are classified in separate tabs. The latest videos here, and look at all the videos. You can just hit the bullseye by reading what the video addresses. I hope you enjoy this. And now, what we do is we become life is a series of moments. And what we have just discovered are some moments which happened in our lives at the Good Schools Alliance and the Learning Forward India Foundation today. We are here for this moment. That's all we are here for. Life is a series of moments. All right, when you speak of lofty goals, I'm guessing that you have an image of something like a mountain climber aiming for the top.
Yes, that's right. People, myself included, aim for the top of the mountain.
But if life were climbing a mountain in order to reach the top, then the greater part of life would end up being en route. That is to say, one's real life would begin with one's trek on the mountainside, and the distance one has traveled up until the point would be a tentative life led by a tentative me.
I guess that's one way of putting it. The way I am now, I am definitely an en route person.
Now, supposing you didn't make it to the mountain top, what would that mean for your life? With accidents and diseases and the like, people don't always make it all the way. The mountain climbing itself is fraught with pitfalls and often ends in failure. So one's life would be interrupted en route with just this tentative me leading a tentative life. What kind of life would that be?
That's well, that would be a case of getting one's just deserts. So I didn't have the ability, or I didn't have the physical strength to climb a mountain, or I wasn't lucky, or I lacked the skill. That's all. Yes, that is a reality I'm prepared to accept.
Adlerian psychology has a different standpoint. People who think of life as being like climbing a mountain are treating their own existences as lines, as if there is a line that started the instant one came into this world and that continues in all manner of curves of varying sizes until it arrives at the summit and then at long last reaches its terminus, which is death. This conception, which treats life as a kind of story, is an idea that links the Freudian etiology, the attributing of causes. We have mentioned before etiology and teleology. Teleology is ahead, etiology is left behind, and is a way of thinking that makes the greater part of life into something that is en route. I'll take a pause here and mention Old Path and White Clouds. I'm currently researching this book. It's the life of Buddha and his path. It actually is very relevant to this chapter. So if you get a moment, read about Old Path, White Cloud. You can read a review. It's very easily available all over. Try and read a summary of the book. The book is over 500 pages, and my bullseye is the next masterclass. That's why I'm studying Old Path, White Cloud. It has enlightenment, it has the five methodologies of righteousness which Buddha mentions, and that's why Buddha says that en route, this is your moment, this is your breath. Over to you, my youth.
Well, what is your image of life?
Do not treat it as a line. Think of life as a series of dots. If you look through a magnifying glass at a solid line drawn with chalk, you'll discover that what you thought was a line is actually a series of dots. Seemingly linear existence is actually a series of dots. In other words, life is a series of moments.
A series of moments?
Yes, it is a series of moments called now. We can live only in the here and now. Our lives exist only in moments. Adults who do not know this attempt to impose linear lives onto young people. Their thinking is that staying on the conventional tracks, good university, big company, stable household, is a happy life. But life is not made up of lines or anything like that.
So, there is no need for life planning or career planning?
If life were a line, then life planning would be possible. But our lives are only a series of dots. A well planned life is not something to be treated as necessary or unnecessary, as it is impossible.
Oh, nonsense. What an absurd idea.
Okay. Live like you are dancing. What is wrong with it?
Your argument not only denies the making of plans in life, it goes as far as to deny even making efforts. Take, for example, the life of someone who has dreamed of being a violinist ever since childhood, and who, after years of strict training, has at long last become an active member in a celebrated orchestra. Or another life, one of intensive studies that successfully leads to the passing of the bar examination and to becoming a lawyer. Neither of these lives would be possible without objectives and plans.
So, in other words, like mountain climbers aiming to reach the mountain top, they have persevered on their paths.
Of course,
But is that really the case? Isn't it that these people have lived each and every instant of their lives here and now? That's to say, rather than living lives that are en route, they are always living here and now. For example, the person who had dreams of becoming a violinist is always looking at pieces of music and concentrating on each piece and on each and every measure and note.
would they attain their objectives that way?
Think of it this way: life is a series of moments which one lives as if one were dancing right now, around and around each passing instant. And one happens to survey one's surroundings, one realizes, I guess I've made it this far. Among those who have danced the dance of the violin, there are people who stay the course and become professional musicians. Among those who have danced the dance of the bar exam, there are people who become lawyers. There are people who have danced the dance of writing and become authors. Of course, it also happens that people end up entirely different places, but none of these lives came to an end en route. It is enough if one finds fulfillment in the here and now one is dancing.
So it's enough if one can dance in the now.
Yes, with dance, it is the dancing itself that is the goal. And no one is concerned with arriving somewhere by doing it. Naturally, it may happen that one arrives somewhere as a result of having danced. Since one is dancing, one does not stay in the same place, but there is no destination.
A life without a destination. Who ever heard of such a thing? Who would acknowledge such an unsteady life that bends whichever way the wind blows?
The kind of life that you speak, which tries to reach a destination, may be termed as kinetic or a dynamic life. By contrast, the kind of dancing life I'm talking about could be called energial, actual active state life. So he's calling it energial, derived from energy, propelled with energy. Kinetic, carry on.
Kinetic, energial.
Let's refer to Aristotle's explanation. Ordinary motion, which is referred to as kinesis, has a starting point and an end point. The movement from the starting point to the end point is optimal if it is carried out as efficiently and as quickly as possible. If one can take an express train, there is no need to ride the local one that makes every stop.
In other words, if one's destination is to become a lawyer, it's best to get there as quickly and as efficiently as one can.
Yes, and the road one takes to get to the destination is, in the sense that one's goal has not yet been reached, incomplete. This is kinetic life.
Because it's halfway.
That's right. Energia, on the other hand, is a kind of movement in which what is now forming is what has been formed.
What is now forming is what has been formed.
One might also think of it as a movement in which the process itself is treated as the outcome. Dance is like that, and so is a journey.
Oh, I'm getting confused. What is this about a journey?
What kind of goal is the act of on a journey? Suppose you are going on a journey to Egypt. Would you try to arrive the Great Pyramid of Giza by efficiently and quickly as possible and then head straight back for the shortest route? One would not call that a journey. You should be on a journey the moment you step outside your home. And all the moments on the way to your destination should be a journey. Of course, there might be circumstances that prevent you from making it to the pyramid, but that does not mean you didn't go on a journey. This is energial life.
I guess I'm just not getting this. Weren't you refuting the kind of value system of aiming for the mountaintop? What happens if you liken energial life to mountain climbing?
If the goal of climbing a mountain were to get to the top, that would be a kinetic act. To take it to the extreme, it would matter if you went to the mountain top in a helicopter, stayed there for 5 minutes or so, and then headed back in the helicopter again. This is today's world. Of course, if you didn't make it to the mountain top, that would mean the mountain climbing expedition was a failure. However, if the goal is mountain climbing itself and not just getting to the top, one could say it is energial. In this case, in the end, it doesn't matter whether one makes it to the mountain top or not.
That sort of argument is just ridiculous. You have fallen into a completely self defeating contradiction. Before you lose face before the whole wide world, I'll cut through your shameless nonsense once and for all.
Oh, I'd be much obliged. Shine a light that here and now. I'll pause here to remind you of productive failure. You remember? Energy in life is like productive failure. Think about it, Gurdeep. It's
Yes,
like,
I think, yeah, it's a
and the last
journey.
talking about trying to get to the mountain. So it's purely what we said about direct instruction and the
Discovery learning.
discovery learning. So you saw it here also. Over to you. Shine a light on the here and now.
Look, in your refutation of etiology, you rejected focusing on the past. You said that the past does not exist and that it has no meaning. I acknowledge those points. It is true that one cannot change the past. If there is something that can be changed, it is the future. But now, by advocating this energia way of living, you are refuting planning. That is to say, you are rejecting even changing one's future of one's own violation. So, while you reject looking back, you are rejecting looking forward too. It's like you're telling me to just walk blindfolded along a pathless path.
You can see neither behind you nor in front of you.
That's right, I can't see.
Isn't that only natural? Where is the problem here?
What are you talking about?
Imagine that you are standing on a theater stage. If the house lights are on, you'll probably be able to see all the way back in the back of the hall. But if you're under a bright spotlight, you won't be able to make out even the front row. That's exactly how it is with our lives. It's because we cast a dim light on our entire lives that we are able to see the past and the future. Or at least we imagine we can. But if one is shining a bright spotlight on here and now, one cannot see the past or the future anymore.
A bright spotlight?
You are looking at the screen right now, Gurdeep, and you're focusing on the letters. That's your here and now. That's your bright spotlight. And that's the power of now. That's the concentration. Looking into your eyes and reading, you're looking into my eyes and reading. That's the connection. And that is the now. That's how learning has to transcend all barriers in a good classroom. Yes, we would live more earnestly only here and now. The fact that you think you can see the past or predict the future is proof that rather than living earnestly here and now, you are living in a dim twilight. Life is a series of moments, and neither the past nor the future exist. You are trying to give yourself a way out by focusing on the past and the future. What happened in the past has nothing whatsoever to do with you here and now. And what the future may hold is not a matter to think about here and now. If you're living earnestly here and now, you will not be concerned with such things.
But
When one adopts the point of view of Freudian etiology, one sees life as a kind of great big story based on cause and effect. So then it's all about where and when I was born, what my child was like, the school I attended, and the company where I got a job. And that decides who I am now and who will I become. To be sure, likening one's life to a story is probably an entertaining job. The problem is one can see the dimness that lies ahead at the end of the story. Moreover, one will try to lead a life that is in line with that story. And then one way my life is such and such. So I have no choice but to live this way. And it's not because of me, it's my past, it's the environment, and so on. But bringing up the past here is nothing but a way out, a life lie. However, life is a series of dots, a series of moments. If you can grasp that, you will not need a story any longer.
if you put it that way, the lifestyle that Adler is advocating is a kind of story too.
Lifestyle is about here and now and is something that one can change of one's own volition. The life of the past that looks like a straight line only appears that way to you as a result of your making ceaseless resolutions to not change. The life that lies ahead of you is a completely blank page, and there is no tracks that have been laid for you to follow. There is no story there.
But that's just living for the moment. Or worse, a vicious hedonism.
No, to shine a spotlight on here and now is to go about doing what you can do now earnestly and conscientiously. Sorry about that. No, to shine a spotlight on here and now is to go about doing what one can do now earnestly and consciously. Consciously. It's twisting my tongue again and again. I tried to read it anyway. So, this is what it is. We are reading here, and the now is what matters. If we get distracted by a screen, any sound in the background, we are hearing things beyond the concentration. We will not hear what we are supposed to hear. The greatest life lie.
So to live earnestly and conscientiously.
got it better. For example, one wants to get into a university, but one makes no attempt to study. This is the attitude of not living earnestly here and now. Of course, maybe the entrance examination is still far off. Kushi, pay attention. Maybe one is not sure what needs to be studied or how thoroughly, and one finds it troublesome. However, it is enough to do it little by little. Every day, one can work out some mathematical formulas. One can memorize some words. In short, one can dance the dance. By doing so, one is sure to have a sense of this is what I did today. This is what today, this single day was for. Clearly, today is not for an entrance examination in the distant future. And the same thing would hold true for your father too. He was like dancing earnestly the dance of his everyday life. He lived earnestly here and now without having a grand objective or the need to achieve that objective. And if that was the case, it would seem that your father's life was a happy one. Just a digression. His father, anyone remembers his father? His father ran a store, if you remember. Gurdeep, am I correct?
I think so. I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah. So just his father just did a repetitive job every day, the same thing. And this gentleman said that he won't want to live his father's life. Now, I'm giving you a personal story. I come every day to my little bookstore. I leave home at 9:30 in the morning and go home at 7:30 in the evening. I do it 7 days a week. Some people will think that I'm not living a happy life, but I tell them you have not experienced happiness. And that's what Buddha does. When Buddha walks, he walks. When he's walking, also, he's breathing. He's aware of every breath of his. And that's the beauty of being a teacher. That's the beauty of the now. That's the beauty of the moment. Over to you.
So, are you telling me to affirm that way of living? That I should accept my father's constantly work burdened existence?
There is no need to make yourself affirm it. Only instead of seeing his life as a line that he has reached, start seeing how he lived it. See the moments of his life.
The moments?
And the same way he said, with regard to your own life, you set objectives for the distant future and think of now as your preparatory period. You think, I really want to do this and I'll do it when the time comes. This is the way of living that postpones life. As long as we postpone life, we can neither go anywhere and will only pass our days, one after the next, in a dull monotony. Because we think of here and now as just a preparatory period, as a time of patience, but a here and now in which one is studying for an entrance examination in the distant future, for example, is the real thing.
Okay, I'll accept that. I can certainly accept living earnestly here and now and not setting up some fabricated line. But I don't have any dreams or objectives in my life. I don't know what dance to do. My here and now is nothing but utterly useless moments.
Not having objectives or the like is fine. Living earnestly here and now is itself a dance. One must not get too serious, but please do not confuse being earnest with being too serious.
Be earnest but not too serious.
That's right. Life is always simple, not something that one needs to get too serious about. If one is living each moment earnestly, there is no need to get too serious. And there is another thing I would like you to keep in mind. When one has adopted an energial viewpoint, life is always complete.
It's complete.
If your life or mine, for that matter, were to come to an end here and now, it would not do to refer to either of them as unhappy. The life that ends at the age of 20 and the life that ends at the age of 90 are both complete lives and lives of happiness.
So, if I have lived earnestly here and now, those moments will always be complete.
Exactly. Now I have used the word life, lie again and again throughout our discussion. I would like to conclude by talking about the greatest life lie of all.
Please do.
The greatest life lie of all is not live here and now. It is look at the past and the future, cast a dim light on one's entire life, and believe that one has been able to see something. Until now, you have turned away from the here and now and only shown a light on invented pasts and futures. You have told a great lie to your life, to these irreparable moments.
Oh, okay.
So cast away the life lie and fearlessly shine a bright spotlight on here and now. That is something you can do.
That is something I can do. Do you think I have in me the courage to live out these moments earnestly without resorting to the life lie?
Since neither the past nor the future exist, let's talk about now. It's not yesterday or tomorrow that decides it. It's here and now.
What are
Give,
you? Yeah, sorry.
give meaning to seemingly meaningless life.
What are you saying?
I think this discussion has now reached the water's edge. Whether you drink the water or not is entirely up to you.
Maybe Adlerian psychology and your philosophy are actually changing me. Maybe I'm trying to let go of my resolve not to change and choose a new way of living, a new lifestyle. But wait, there is one last thing I would like to ask.
And what would that be?
When life is taken as a series of moments, as existing only here and now, what meaning could it possibly have? For what was I born? Or for what am I enduring this life of hardship until I reach my last gasp? The point of it all is beyond me.
What is the meaning of life? What are people living for? When someone posed these questions to Adler, this was the answer. Life in general has no meaning.
Life is meaningless?
The world in which we live is constantly beset by all manner of horrendous events, and we exist with the ravages of war and natural disasters all around us. When confronted by the fact of children dying in the turmoil of war, there is no way one can go on about the meaning of life. In other words, there is no meaning in using generalizations to talk about life, but being confronted by such incomprehensible tragedies without taking any action is tantamount to affirming them. Regardless of the circumstances, we must take some form of action. We must stand up to Kant's inclination.
Yes.
Now, suppose one experiences a major natural disaster, and one's response is to look back at the past in an etiological manner and say, what could have caused such a thing to happen? How meaningful would that be? An experience of hardship would be an opportunity to look ahead and think, what can I do from now on?
I agree entirely.
And Adler, having stated that life in general has no meaning, then continues, whatever meaning life has must be assigned to it by the individual.
Assigned to it by the individual? What does that mean?
During the war, my grandfather was firebombed and his face was severely burned. In every way, it was horrendous and inhumane event. It would certainly have been within the realm of possibility for him to choose a lifestyle with the perspective of the world is a horrible place or people are my enemies. However, when my grandfather rode the train to visits to the hospital, there were always other passengers who would give up their seats for him. This is something I heard about through my mother, so I do not know how he actually felt. But this is what I believe. My grandfather chose a lifestyle with a perspective of people are comrades and the world is a wonderful place. That is exactly what Adler is pointing to when he says whatever meaning life has must be assigned to it by the individual. So life in general has no meaning whatsoever. but you can assign meaning to that life, and you are the only one who can assign meaning to your life.
Then please tell me, how can I assign proper meaning to a meaningless life? I do not have the confidence yet.
You are lost in your life. Why are you lost? You are lost because you are trying to choose freedom. That is to say, a path on which you are not afraid of being disliked by others, and you are not living others' lives, a path that is yours alone.
That's right. I want to choose happiness and choose freedom.
When one attempts to choose freedom, it is only natural that one may lose one's way. At this juncture, Adlerian psychology holds up a guiding star as a grand compass pointing to a life of freedom.
A guiding star?
Just like the traveler who relies on the North Star, in our lives we need a guiding star. That is the Adlerian psychology of thinking. It is an expansive ideal that says, as long as we do not lose sight of this compass and keep on moving in this direction, there is happiness.
Where is that star?
It's a contribution to others.
A contribution to others?
No matter what moments you are living, or if there are people who dislike you, as long as you do not lose sight of the guiding star of I contribute to others, you will not lose your way and you can do whatever you like. Whether you are disliked or not, you pay it in no mind and live free.
If I have the star of contribution to others high in the sky above me, I will always have happiness and comrades by my side.
Then let's dance in the earnest, the moments of the here and now, and live in earnest. Do not look at the past, do not look at the future. One lives each complete moment like a dance. There is no need to compete with another anyone. One has no use for destinations. As long as you are dancing, you will get somewhere.
A somewhere that no one else knows.
That is the nature of energial life. If I look back on my life up to now, no matter how I try, I will never arrive at a satisfactory explanation as to why I am here and now. So at one point, the study of Greek philosophy was my focus. Before long, I took up the study of Adlerian psychology in tandem with it. And here I am today, deep in conversation with you, my irreplaceable friend. It is a result of having danced the moments. That is the only way to explain it. When you have danced here and now in earnestness and to the full, that is when the meaning of life will become clear to you.
It will. I believe you.
Yes, please believe. Through my many living years living with Adler's thought, there is something I have noticed.
And that is,
It is the power of one person is great, or rather, my power is immeasurably great.
what do you mean?
Well, in other words, if I change, the world will change. This means that the world can be changed only by me, and no one else will change it for me. The world that has appeared to me since learning of Adlerian psychology is not the world I once knew.
If I change, the world will change. No one else will change the world for me.
It is similar to the shock experienced by someone who, after many years of being nearsighted, puts on glasses for the first time. It happened to me the day I left school and tried to read the bus number on a DTC bus. I couldn't read it, and that's why I went to get glasses. Previously, indistinct outlines of the world become well defined, and even the colors are more vivid. Furthermore, it is not only a part of one's visual field that becomes clear, but the entire visible world. I can only imagine how happy you will be if you have a similar experience.
Ah, if only I had known. I wish I had known this 10 years ago or even just 5 years ago. If only I had known 5 years ago before I got a job.
No, that is not the case. You say you wish you had known this 10 years ago. It is because Adler's thought resonates with you now. that you think you are thinking this, that you are thinking this. No one knows how you would have felt about it 10 years ago. This discussion is something that you needed to hear now.
Yes, I certainly did.
One more time, I give you the words of Adler. Someone has to start. Other people might not be cooperative, but that is not connected to you. My advice is this: you should start, with no regard to whether others are cooperative or not.
I cannot tell yet if it is I who have changed or if it is the world that I can see from that vantage point that has changed. But there is one thing I can say with conviction. Here and now is shining brightly. Yes, it is so bright that I can see almost nothing of tomorrow.
I believe that you have drunk the water. So, young friend who walks ahead, shall we walk together?
I believe you too. Yes, let's walk together and thank you for all your time.
Thank you too.
I hope you will not mind if at some point I visit you here again. Yes, as an irreplaceable friend. And I won't be saying anything more about taking apart your arguments.
Ha ha ha! At last, you've shown me a young person smile. Well, it's quite late already. Let's pass our own nights and greet the new morning. The young man slowly tied his shoelaces and left the philosopher's house. On opening the door, a snowy scene spread out before him. A full moon is floating, form obscured, illuminated the shimmering whiteness at his feet. What clear air, what dazzling light. I am going to tread on the snow and take my first step. The young man drew a deep breath and rubbed the slight stubble on his face and murmured emphatically, the world is simple and life is too. We will do the afterword next time. I
Okay.
think we have reached quite a crucial moment of our lives. Any thoughts from anyone before we close today? Vasundhara, what do you take away from
Yes,
today's
sir.
session?
Yes. Um, we usually, sir, hear that we should live in present. So from this chapter, I tried to understand because once you are, focusing on the goal, you just forget to enjoy the process. You are not living on that moments and you are not enjoying the process. You are holding your happiness to achieve the goal. And your happiness depends on the result. So, my takeaway is that we should enjoy every moment, we should enjoy the process, and we should, not hold our happiness for a long time just for the time when we are achieving something.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
glad
you.
we found. I'm glad we found each other. That's what I can say. Shalini, you want to add something?
Sir, as it is said that true happiness lies not in reaching the destination, but in the journey itself. So we should enjoy every moment and take life as it comes.
खुशी, where are you?
Yes, sir.
हमको खुशी मिल गई.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. You have the last word.
Okay, yeah, so first of all, as the ending of the book, I would say the ending of the book itself was so beautiful. Of course, the chapter was, but still the ending line were like beautiful, I would say. And yeah, when you said that Kushi, listen to me right now, and I was like, after the paragraph you just completed, I was like noted everything. And yes, I'm also just thinking that yeah, I'll also get it someday, just like the youth, as you said.
Yes, you will get there someday. Give my regards to your new principal. We've had some conversation with her. Tell Sri Vidya ma'am that she should come along with you to this session one day and we'll meet. Okay. So tell her that you meet me on Saturdays and I'll be happy to have her join us. Give her my regards. I've been in conversation with her after Kushal introduced me last week. So I'm sure she will look at what we do in a very positive light because Khushi will give her the Khushi. Thank you for that. Thank you, Manisha, for being the doorkeeper. Thank you, Minakshi, for always being there with us. And yes, we have My Good School tomorrow. Manisha will always end by saying, please join us. It's a very interesting session tomorrow with Karthik Bajoria coming to My Good School on 18th. And by the way, Karthik Bajoria is with us on the 19th right here in this room. So we have the governing council meeting happening on 19th and 20th in Dehradun. It's got a very interesting program. We are handling two projects simultaneously. Half of us will go to the Arthur Foot Academy and half will go to the Political Youth Development Society. So we will do the PYDS Learning Academy. We will have a meeting there and we will send our partners to Arthur Foot Academy to see what the present moment is. In both cases, we are going to enjoy the present moment at the institutions. And by the way, if you're coming to Dehradun, join us on Monday evening. We are hosting a reception 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. for everyone. Barista is on the house for 2 hours. Anyone walk in will be treated well by us at the book cafe. So maybe someone of you will surprise us. I offered this to so many, but I think we got only 15 saying yes. But I hope some surprise us. So, on that note, have a great weekend and thank you for being with us. Jai Hind, some of us will say, and live the moment, dance the moments. That's what life is about, nothing more than that. Wear that smile and say, I'm happy. That's all I could do. I couldn't do more than that. I get people every day to say, you lost your mother. I said, I celebrate every day because you remember her. You come here because you celebrate her life. And that's what I'm enjoying because you've come all the way. Every day, someone comes to the bookstore to talk about her. I said, well, that's what I'm celebrating, that you are here to talk about her. And then I get a coffee and a cake for that person because that person has come here that moment to share the joys of life, which someone had shared with that moment at that moment. So, on that momentary note, let's enjoy the moment. Have a great life and time ahead. We will close this book next week with the afterword, which means after a little while, when realization has dawned on the courage to be disliked. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you,
Thank
Manisha.
you, sir.
Anything you want to add before I go?
Thank you, sir. And it seems it has become my tagline that I request everyone to join. So please do join. There is going to be a happy discussion on Sunday with all of you together. I'm looking forward for it.
Before you go, just to help you navigate the system, just to tell you that there's a lot of AI stuff we use and we follow. And I've just added something as a takeaway summary. Today, I don't think we need a bookmark because we read the afterwards straight away. So I'm not adding a bookmark. So what will be the next week's date? Anyone? Next Saturday date?
24th Jan.
24th.
24th.
Saturday. It's a very happy day, I'll tell you on that day. It's a very special day for me in person. So I shall share the secret on that day because the moment, maybe that moment comes, God willing. So we are here this moment, that's what matters. And we're talking about 24th, which quite an antithesis to the book. So
We
anyway,
always plan and
yeah, the
we
calendar.
always plan.
I said, so we have to write dates. So we have done that. That's the only moment. And today, the 17th of January, 2026, we sign off another beautiful day. Cheers and sunshine to everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye bye.